Hi there, today we are at the Rohrerstown Goodwill, and this can be a hit or miss. I call this the hit or miss Goodwill because sometimes you come in here and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the best day ever. And then most of the time I go in there, oh look, this shirt is cute, life is good. Most of the time I go in here, I kind of complain and observe that the shelves are not full compared to the ones out on Route 30. So I'm sorry if you're hearing the same thing. You're like, you're at Rohrerstown. It's the same old, same old. But I never give up. I'm thinking maybe today's the day. Today might be the day that we find something great. I did find this little heart pottery. I thought that was sweet. It did have a marking on it. Let's see what it said. I took off my glasses so I could read it, but they had covered up the sticker. Wasn't that exciting, so I decided to leave that there. And then this was a vintage cardboard cutout that had been laminated. I would guess a teacher donated that. I always laminated all of my bulletin board things so they would survive from year to year. This was a neat looking kind of, I guess it's a planter. Looked kind of like a pumpkin. This looked to me more like home goods, something modern. And I do find something amazing here. Watch. Look. Do you see it? Oh, I was like, this is so cool. And it was German, West German pottery. I was like, really? Right off the bat, 2 seconds in, less than 2 minutes, and I find something exceptional. But then look, it was cracked. It was really, really cracked and repaired. See that crack? I was like, man, darn it. But maybe there's some more pottery. If they donated that one, maybe there's more. Thrifting at Goodwill does tend to make you positive. Maybe there's another one. Maybe they donated the whole collection. They had a whole bunch of flowers. They seemed a little high, and I feel that you could go to the Dollar Tree, which is like 2 stores down in this. It's a little strip mall, this area, and you could get some flowers there. But I don't want to sound kind of, snarky. I moved this out of the way because I felt that was dangerous. And then we're going to look at the art. They do have nice art here, like this piece. This was in a huge, heavy frame. But I felt like that really wasn't being wanted by a lot of people, but it was really neat. Maybe if you had a Las Vegas room. This was neat too. This was signed. A cat statue, cat figurine. Was that Raquel Welch? That was Raquel Welch in that first picture, I think. It had, there's the framery sticker on the back. Seeing if there's anything else that catches my eye, even though I have picked up art in the past. Look at these 2 little Shih Tzus. Aw, that's so cute. I try not to like big pieces anymore. I did pick up that huge like art glass piece, but that's because I knew it was going to be a long tail sit, it's going to sit for a while in my eBay store. But I feel like it's going to just take the right person. They're going to come along and be super excited that I have it. So I have picked, that's like the last big piece of artwork that I've picked up in a while. This Goodwill separates it by holidays. They have a little bit of each holiday out year round. So you saw the St. Patrick's Day area. You saw the Easter. This is the tumbleweed area. Yeah. I still do not get it. I still do not get why, like 5 miles across town, it is overcrowded, and here it's never crowded. I don't understand. And there's a community aid right around the corner from this one if you're ever in the area. It's right next to Lowe's. So very once in a while, I think maybe, do I film here? I might film at Community Aid on this video. I'm not sure. I'll find out towards the end. Because you're allowed to film at Community Aid. You used to not be able to, but they took down all the signs and verbiage and stuff. So I rarely go in. Oh, okay, stop yapping. Here, look, this is a wall pocket, and I have a collection of wall pockets that I'm going to use in my house in Maine. And I have been finding more wall pockets lately, but I don't want to just get the wall pocket because I found a wall pocket. I really want it to be like speak to me, and I like, oh, I really like that one. So I did not get that. The Community Aid, I do go in there every once in a while, less than I do going to this Rohrerstown Goodwill. And a few times some things have snuck past them, but for the most part they're a little pricey, so I usually don't go over there for thrifting. Here's a Last Supper plate. I didn't test it for glow. I don't think it would have glowed. And then at the very top, they have this spice rack. I am kind of a sucker for spice racks. I just think they're neat. I do have a spice rack that I kept for myself, again, for my house in Maine in the kitchen. It is a cupboard, and it looks like a piece of artwork. Speaking of artwork, it's fruit, and then you open it up, and then it has all the little glass jars for your spices. And I think one day that'll be exciting to actually use. But for now, I'm just storing it. I don't have room in my kitchen here, or I would have put it up here. With a little trinket dish, that wasn't very exciting. And of course, I filmed this before knowing about my green sale that I just had yesterday, Friday, and a future sale on Whatnot that is Asian themed. I was excited about seeing all these cats, and I did stop to check out the cats, but there weren't any that were like standing out to me, so I didn't get any of them. Like I said, we have an Asian theme train going on. It's the 22nd of this month, and I didn't know about it, so hopefully looking back at this video, I won't have passed up something super duper awesome that's Asian related. It is kind of hard to find Asian related things. I was with Kate, Follow That Bug Vintage, here on YouTube yesterday, and she was looking for cats and I was looking for Asian things, and it's a little hard. So it might be my items for the hour of my train might be things that are made in Japan, you know, like teapots and things like that, because it is tricky. It's tricky to find really cool, like I would like all Kokeshi dolls. I think that would be fantastic. I would like, I do have a reverse silk embroidery that I'm going to get out of storage. I do have that. That was really pretty. And I have a jewelry box listed. It's a really tall, heavy, a black wooden inlaid jewelry box. I have that listed already. And I also have a lamp listed already. So you can look at her. She's so sad looking. You can go over to the Whatnot show and check out. I have already pre-listed some things. Getting back to shopping. I thought maybe I would find something over here in the clear glass section. That was plastic. It kind of reminded me for a second of the votive that I found recently. I think that was an East Earl. I sold that on eBay, but that one was plastic. This was neat how they put the ribbon through it, made it kind of seasonal. You could change the ribbon, I guess, for each holiday. This was from the 1982 World's Fair. And then up top they had a little milk glass there. We got praying hands, kind of. They're not together, so maybe that's half a point. And then here's a basket. I had just found a basket that was certified that it was Native American, which I sold. And that could have been something, but I have a really hard time, like it could have been a sweetgrass basket. And if you thought that was, please let me know so I'll know for next time. I have a real hard time distinguishing if it's just a mass-produced basket or if it is a sweet grass basket. And if you do know those, if you could also share with me and the rest of us, what do you look for that you know for sure? That would be really helpful. Like, what are some characteristics of a sweet grass basket that make it so? That was a tile. I felt it was more of a student piece. And now we're moving on further down. It's a shark, but it was cracked. That shark had been in an accident. It was cracked to pieces. Someone loved it so much, though. They glued it all back together. Made in China. I guess, what is that, a vase? Would you put flowers in there? It's kind of unusual. Thank you for the positive feedback about using the captioning feature on my editing software here. I'm going to include the closed captioning with this video, even though I am doing a voiceover. You don't have to compete with hearing background music. The music was so loud here. Oh my gosh, it was so loud. There was no way I was going to even risk it. I know I would, like, the closed captioning picked up the music really, really well. Could have been a karaoke video. This was a really pretty cherry red bowl, and that in the back, I actually have this, and that's what I'm telling you, that this is a lid to a Pyrex Hostess, I believe, if I'm not wrong, promotional kind of piece. It was a covered dish with the lid, and I tried to sell it on Whatnot, and no one was interested that evening, so I might bring it back for another day. I had it listed on eBay, but it's a very, very heavy piece. And the shipping would be so high on eBay, but the shipping on Whatnot is so much better. They did increase the prices on Whatnot, so up to 5 pounds, it's only $9.21. It used to be $8.77, and that's still a great deal because I just recently mailed something to Washington State, and it was 2 pounds, and it cost the person $16. So Whatnot does have great shipping prices. So I might bring that Pyrex piece back. This was pretty cool. I would think that this would be more decorative. You would have to really Pam or spray or grease the heck out of that if you didn't want it to stick in all those little grooves. But nice little astrology theme. And then here was a pie plate. I have gotten those in the past. I think they're kind of vintage, but maybe those were newer vintage. I am not sure. I've had the really old ones where it's kind of hard to tell what it said in the past. And then here we have a creamer and sugar. I'm not going to buy it, but I do like kind of putting them together. I think that's a creamer or maybe a gravy boat. That might be a gravy boat, the one in the middle. That's obviously a shaker. And maybe that is a, I don't know. Those are awfully big for creamers. Maybe I'm wrong. That's not a creamer and sugar. That was, it's okay. It kind of tipped over, but it was okay. Here was, it looked like a restaurant-ware one with somebody's initials on it. The only part in this store that they have a lot of, and I noticed last time I was in here that they have a lot of dishes. So that's where we're going to find a lot of interesting things to look at. Do you remember last time we were here? I was like, what is this? But then I realized it was a to sharpen your knives. Remember last time I was here and I was like, look at all these knives on the shelf. They still have it. Safety, they have them taped to cardboard, but I just find that crazy that they have knives sitting out here. They used to have a display case. I love their display case where the registers were, but they got rid of those when they remodeled the front of the store, and so they don't have the cases anymore. I would think that that's where they would have gone, the knives, but they don't really have a place now for the knives, so maybe that's why they're on the shelves. It was nice that they listed everything in that box for you. Those were all plastic. They were all individually priced. But then above it was a box full of stuff. So I think different people price things, and that's why some things are bundled and some things are single pieced. Here we had a hot chocolate pot or a coffee pot. The lid is taped, don't worry. I always double check to make sure. Isn't that pretty? Kind of Art Deco style. Just admired it. And then here was a little trinket with some fruit or something on it. This was really pretty. This surprised me. I think it was frosted glass. Then I was expecting it to say Fenton or something. It did have an original label underneath the price tag, but I was expecting that to be porcelain, and it wasn't. It was satin glass. I think I said frosted glass, but it was satin glass. They do have a lot of mugs here, and a really dirty Snoopy glass. I fought the urge to buy it so I could clean it. And then these were cute little plates, and they were plastic, so that threw me off as well. Wanted to see who made it, if there was a marker, maker's mark on there, but I didn't really see anything. They look like stoneware to me. Over here in the bowls, they had nice little selection. They had some false graph, Yorktown. Yorktown's the yellow, right? I think so. It's a very common, very, very common pattern. Down here, they had a whole bunch of vintage amber colored glasses. They were individually marked as well. You never know, something might get snuck in here, like a fairy lamp. It's usually where I do find fairy lamps in the glasses. Then I thought, well, maybe over in the arts and crafts, find something over here. That was a whole bunch of pom-poms. And look, yarn, vintage yarn in Garfield. Thank you all for those of you who have gone over to my other YouTube channel. It's called Flying Pig Knits, and have subscribed over there. It's a lot of fun over there. I do all things yarny related, and so if you are interested in anything fiber arts, I would encourage you to check out that channel. The link to it is in the description of every video. And of course, if you like shopping videos, and I also do travel adventures with my family, if you like those type of videos, well, you want to stick around on this channel, Flying Pig Thrifts, and make sure you are subscribed. And if you hit the bell notification button, you will know when I drop a new video, which is at least 3 times a week. I'm going to try and do more shorts this month. For December and January, I think I did, no, November and December, I think I did shorts every day, which was a lot of fun. I'm going to try and do more shorts because I think those are more fun and kind of spontaneous, so look for those as well. These are pretty cool. I couldn't tell if these were old or new because I do know like at Joann's they do sell these. At least they used to when I would go to Joann's. And I'm not sure if those were new old stock or new contemporary stock. They had them all, again, individually priced. So I think a bundle here would have probably served Goodwill better. I think someone would more likely buy them all if they were bundled, but what do I know? I just shop here. Now we're at Community Aide. I thought I put some Community Aide footage in here. We are at Community Aide, and so they have a little display in the front, and that was a nice little mid-century modern plate. Platters, I do like platters, and I wanted to point this out to you. This was a fused glass plate, and it does have a signature on it. You see it right there on the blue. You could pause the video. I didn't leave it on there too long for you to see it, but it did have a signature that I wasn't familiar with. If you know who made that plate, please let me know. I do like platters, but they are a pain to ship because they are so big, and you always have to have an oversized box. Here was a nice Russian wooden lacquer box. I believe it was probably, and then the lid came off, which surprised me. I was expecting it to be hinged. I think it was a souvenir because it had a name on it. I was like, look, 79 cents. See? One thing I do like about this Community Aide is they will price things for you at the checkout. Like if I wanted to get that and it didn't have a price on it, I can go up to the checkout and they'll price it for me, because that's happened to me with my paper vase hat. Remember that? That's where I found it, at this one. And then also I had a Bluebird of Happiness, and they priced those for me. So that is, even though they are pricey here, they will price for you. Here's some Deneen pottery. Unfortunately, it wasn't the the poison coffee, Black Death coffee mugs. They were just destination mugs. And I think those are kind of hard sell, so I do not get those. I did pick up that Deneen pottery mug at my favorite Goodwill, and it was Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox, and that did sell already. I was peeling this back because it is redware. I could not read the signature. It was a candle holder. It was nice, but not nice enough for me to get. The prices here on these little decorations are very reasonable. It's over in their kind of curated section. And I think I get a shot of the price tag where it says curated to show you the prices are just a little high. We're over in that area right now. I think we are. We'll have to get a load of yes. No? Maybe. Okay, this was, doesn't matter. This is it was lotion. And then I found more of these over on another shelf. So it kind of reminded me of 10,000 Villages. The 10,000 Villages donation. I think this was to hold your glasses. Yeah, I think we're still in the front of the store. That does matter because the prices aren't crazy yet. We have a little dreidel dish. That is way past Hanukkah, so I did not get that. And they had a giant glass basket. They had that at $18. Little tollware, made in 1992, painted watering can, and a pine cone candle. I had just sold one of these in my Whatnot sale, so I'm telling that. Oh, I just sold one of those the other day. That one had the stuff in it, the little scenty beads in there. And this was a cute little trinket. $2.99 on that. And then they look like they were, what did I feel like they were doing? Like they were surfing or something, but I realized that they were just playing instruments. Now we're over in the fancy dancy section. Here is a Longenberger basket with the liner. The prices over here are called Deluxe Bric-a-Brac, which I kind of like. Struggle a little bit trying to pick this up because it did have the lid and I was trying to get a hold of it one-handed, but survey says $18 for that little tiny basket. And I thought, this is going to be fun. How much is this paperweight? $13. Maybe they know something I don't. I'm being a little sarcastic. But I have bought from here. I found a glass Steuben lion and it was $15 and I bought it because it's worth like $300 to $500. So I will pay up if I think that it's worth it. That was $20 and I probably would sell that for $20. Isn't this neat? This was a neat little set. Look at those glasses. Those are so neat. And then look, they I think that was a marriage. They're the same color, but they were all selling it all together. But those kind of reminded me of Mexico because they had bubbles in the glass, but they were kind of selling that as a set. So that was very nice. And then on the other side, we're going to find this guy here. Oh, we won, praying hands. This bell, it's kind of sitting out because its clapper was sticking out. And I'm kind of drawn to this. It's art pottery. Did I even look at the price? I didn't even tell us how much it was. This piece of wood was redwood. It's $20. How disappointing in me that I didn't look to see how much that wind chime was. Look at this. I think this is Bristol glass. This was $18. Now, those of you who want to deal with Bristol glass and shipping that, I think that's a great price because this was a huge vase. And look at the two colors. I'm sure it's worth more than that, but I don't want to deal with that because Bristol glass is really thin. Then here's a glass pumpkin, obviously, and I was seeing how much that was, $20 on that. And then down here, I was like, are you something fancy? But I don't think it was. I think it was more contemporary. I was like, you're not Blanco. Because if you were, I'd have to take you with me. This had a lot of marks on it. Cinderella bowl. And then it kind of gives you an idea of like the deluxe bric-a-brac. And they have jewelry over here. They had a whole bunch of flying pigs. I thought, do I need any of those? No. But I looked at them anyway. They have perfume over here and lotions. They have jewelry jars. And then I think I show you something in the back wall, I think. Yeah, so there's a jar of buttons and some other things. Oh, here, they had glowy glass. That was priced pretty high. They had some Annalise. Those were $15 a piece, if I'm reading my little tiny screen correctly. So here, it looks kind of like a silent auction, but they have kind of higher end things. And they always have wigs and wig heads over here. Then look at this collection of frogs. Those were Cory Critters. I found this little soup bowl and plate. And now we've moved out of the deluxe area. We're back in the peasant area. They had all their baskets in one area and all the tins in another area, which is nice and easy to look through. Usually seasonally, they'll have these tables covered with seasonal things. This was crunched. Look, it was repaired. And it was, how much was it? Hold on. That was $6, and that had a huge repair to it. This was a nice dish, but I felt like those roses were added afterwards. It's kind of like an afterthought because they weren't even the same glaze or anything. It was kind of strange. Now we're going to go look at the back shelf. Here we are walking through all the pants. And this is the area where I found the Bluebirds of Happiness last time. So I was seeing maybe I'll find another one. Looking to see if that had a maker on it. I like that blue. I thought that was really pretty. And another time here, I found a little red Murano glass bowl. There's some more of those lotion pots that we saw earlier. I saw it was a tiny little red Murano glass bowl that had snuck through, and I think that I cost like $2.99. So sometimes, like years and years ago, before COVID, this was a hot spot to go shopping at. It's very popular, but then their prices changed, and the stuff that I am geared towards, like vintage things, is not so plentiful, I feel. So like I said, I don't really shop here too often. Here's a little milk jug with a piggy on it. That vase was interesting. Why didn't I look at that vase? That flower vase. I was seeing if she was an angel. She was not, and she had some chips to her flowers, so I left her. Tried not to go too fast so you guys could see as well. Here was a bell. I was seeing if it was marked anybody, but it was not. It had a lot of surface scratches to it. And then I'm going to pick up a piece that I thought was very interesting, like some studio art pottery. Isn't that cool? I don't know who would have sold that, but I thought that was a neat piece. It was really heavy. Obviously, it's a trivet. Then over here was a pretty vase with gold trim. And then we are in another area. This reminded me of a Nittany lion, or maybe, well, I guess you couldn't wear that on your head. You'd have to have a really small head. But it did remind me of a Nittany lion. I was going to say a mask, but looking at it again, that you couldn't fit your head in there. I was seeing if this was Blinko. I don't think it was. This area is a little tiny little Christmas area. And then behind you is a clear glass area. I thought this was interesting, but not enough to buy. Then they also have a furniture area. Isn't this neat? I think it was, yeah, it was already sold. I really like that. It looks like a face. And then I decided, well, let's see if I can find anything in the blanket area. So I looked through here real quick to see if there were any crocheted or knitted blankets, but I didn't find any. And that wraps up our trip here to the community aid. Thank you so much for watching this video. Take care, and I'll see ya.